You have my heart, we'll never be words apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star. Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars. And that's when you need me there. With you, I'll always share. Because when the sun shines, we shine together. Told you I'll be here. Said I'll always be your friend. And I'm sticking out till the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. These fancy things will never come in between. You're part of my entity, here for infinity. When the war has took its part.
My name is Marcus Cooper, and I work at Roadshow BMW as a client advisor. This is my 2016 BMW 435i, and my Instagram handle is 435_vibes. I've been into cars ever since I watched Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and right after I got out of high school, I saw a couple of BMW E92s and E90s and just really fell in love with the way the cars look and how they drive. So the reason why my car is one of 5, only 100 of them were made, and 5 of those were manuals, and all of them came in a white 435. All the rest were ZF 8-speed transmissions, and every single ZHP Edition came with a limited zip differential, the M Performance package tune, carbon fiber bits and pieces all over the car with special trimming inside and upgraded audio. So to me, having one of the 5 manual 435s out there, wherever they're split up across the world, just has a deep sentimental value to me that I will treasure till the car pretty much falls to the wheels. My first car was a 2006 BMW 525 Xi, and that was actually pretty much just a pass me down from my dad once he got it new and passed to my sister and then to me. Ever since my dad got a BMW and he drove it, passed it down and I drove it, and just the way the looks of the BMW and how it drives, feels, the luxury, the performance out of it, I just really fell in love and just got immersed in the BMW branding. So I just did a lot of information and research and eventually just continued on with it. So I was originally looking for a E90 or E92 335 or M3, and eventually I couldn't find one that was in a good range for price and mileage. So I started looking for a 335 F30 or a 435 or an M4. And M4 was about $5 grand or so out of my budget. So I actually found this 435 out in Kentucky from a private seller, and he actually listed as a ZHP and special information about the vehicle. So eventually he dropped the price down to where I was actually able to go and pick it up. And after about a year and a half of searching, I finally found my dream car essentially. So my emotions were all over the place and I was just extremely excited. I got the check in my hand. I could not sleep. We were leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning so we can get there about 7 in the morning. And I woke my dad up. He wasn't ready to go and I was just rushing him, and he was just like, give me a couple more minutes and we'll be on the road. And I just told him, like, we gotta go now. I'm ready to go and pick up my car. So I was definitely full of excitement. And once we got on the road, it was a pretty smooth drive. Once we finally met the guy, we met him at just a mutual bank and test drove the car for a little while and made sure everything checked out, seemed what it was. So the guy was pretty good, pretty cool about it. And we actually ended up going to his house and just to get his information off of the 435 and transfer everything over. So, and he sold it since he got an M4 and drove back the 435, and it was a great time, man. I bought it back in 2018, and ever since then I was just looking forward to continuing on with the vehicle. I decided to modify it, and just from inspiration from different BMW owners and M cars to F30s, F32s, and once I just started looking at them online, all the modifications that are possible, wheels, carbon fiber parts, performance, everything. And as soon as I got my first modification done, I just couldn't stop. I just kept going. It was just an addiction. So the modifications that I've got done, I've got a carbon fiber front lip from ZHP, and then I've got some Morph Auto Design side skirts, and then I've got a rear diffuser from AA Concepts with a brake light in it, and some rear extensions, and a Machimaro rear spoiler. And I'm also sitting on some BC forged wheels. And the funny story about them actually was that I ordered 19 by 9.5 in the front and 19 by 10 in the rear. And when I actually got the wheels, they were actually the wrong size. So they're 9.5 in the front, and they actually sent me 19 by 11 in the rear. So I actually ended up having to go through a hassle, and my coworkers and buddies at BMW ended up helping me out a lot. So I got to give a big shout out to them for being able to help me make these tires and wheels fit, suspension, get everything lined up for the perfect fitment as far as make the best out of, the situation. So the performance mods that I've got done, I've got a Wagner intercooler and Evolution Raceworks charge pipe and turbo to intercooler charge pipe. I've got a Go Fast Bits diverter valve that's upgraded, and a Wagner catless downpipe as well. And I've got a custom straight pipe exhaust with some Machimaro exhaust tips as well that are carbon fiber that look awesome. And I've got, as far as interior parts, I've got a little bit of carbon fiber wrapping on the trim. I've got a upgraded shift knob on there. I've got a clutch stop, which just helps in general driving a 6-speed, less travel time for that clutch, and just makes it a lot more fun to drive and smoother. Additionally, it's also tuned by Pro Tune Freaks from Boot Mod or Boot Mode, BM3, a lot of people like to call it whichever one, but I've got an off-the-shelf tune from them, and eventually plan on getting a custom tune from them as well. So my future plans and modifications for the car is I definitely want to get an upgraded turbo, whether it be from Big Boost or pure turbos. I want to get a custom tune as well, and eventually I do plan out getting some new wheels. My dream wheels are actually looking at ADV 1s, so hopefully in the future I get to get some ADV 1s and possibly switch from BC racing coilovers, maybe upgrade to KWs, or see if BC has another option as well, and eventually maybe even painting the car or wrapping the car. So really, I'm not too sure unless something changes. My inspiration pretty much just comes from everybody in a sense. I didn't want to copy anybody. I wanted to stand out, be different. I just saw quite a bit of different cars and had some ideas that I took a little bit and just kind of combined them with my own ideas, and eventually built the car that I was figuring out. A lot of my friends, most of them think it's nice and cool. I definitely have got some best buddies that told me that it was a stupid decision to buy the car, and they wouldn't spend this much money on the car at the time. I didn't care at all. I just wanted the car. That was the biggest thing for it. But nonetheless, they still love the car, even though that's something they may not drive personally, but they still enjoy the car a lot, and we've got a blast with it. So I wanted to give a big thank you to just my whole friends and family, as well as my girlfriend, for allowing me to dump money in my car and not be too upset. And definitely my friends and buddies at BMW, who spent countless hours of getting cuts and bruises and cussing and screaming at my car, cussing me out because they have to do all this. And I just wanted to thank them a lot for helping me out with my car, the stuff that I wasn't able to do or didn't have the knowledge and just the tools or anything like that. But I wanted to give a big shout out to all my friends and family out there. I also wanted to give a big thank you to BMW Invasion for coming out and letting me tell my story about my car. Again, my name is Marcus Cooper, and this is my 2016 435i, and my Instagram handle is 435_vibes. And I also wanted to give a big thank you to Ken's friends and his buddies for coming out and helping him out and being able to make all of this possible.
All right, that's a wrap. I'm sure you want to get out of the sun for a second, man.
Not a problem.
About to get a tan.
Hopefully it wasn't too bad.